Now, we're in part 2 of my toxic, narcissistic, psychotic wife, ex-wife. Now, in part 1, I told you how, in order for us to understand the reason that this woman has stole my identity or used my identity to run up credit cards and bills in my name for the last 12 years we have been divorced. She's done it 3 different times. Now, to understand this, because we're not talking about somebody who don't have a college degree, somebody who don't have a good paying job. This is somebody who's been making over $100,000 for 19 years. And like I said, when you got a 1 and a 9, you got something secret to be unfolded. Now, in order to understand this situation, we got to look at the history. This is any situation in life. To get an understanding of something, you got to look at the history. This is why when you get sick and you go to the doctor, what do he ask you about? Your history, your family history, because that's how he gonna get an understanding of what it is you dealing with right now. So let's get into it. Back in 1992, I'm going back and forth to Ohio. I live in Detroit. Now, I'm going back and forth out here in the streets. I love to eat. Whether it's cooking good food and eating or going out to nice restaurants. Wherever we was at, that's what we done. So one day we going out to a nice restaurant. And it wasn't out of the ordinary for guys around me to have women come out to eat with us. So one day, a friend of mine's woman said she gonna hook me up with her girlfriend. Okay. So we all go out to eat. It's about 8, 10 of us at the restaurant. We all chit-chatting. I'm talking to her. And they come and take our drink orders. When they get to her, she orders Coke 45 malt liquor. The whole table bust out laughing. She's sitting there looking crazy, talking about what everybody laughing at. Now see, it wasn't out the ordinary for women to drink beer. Even some women even drunk malt liquor. But everybody knew you couldn't get malt liquor at no nice restaurant. And that's what I told her. And she said she didn't know. Now later on, she ended up telling me I'm the first guy that had ever took her out to a nice restaurant. Now, from this point on, we hanging out. This is what we doing. Go out to eat, to the movies, you know, all the things you do when you meet somebody. So, one day, I go by a house. And when I get there, I meet her family, you know, and I'm looking around this house. It ain't looking so good. But me being me, I don't judge nobody for how they live, what they do, whatever it is. I'm not going to judge nobody. Now, the thing of it is that it was so bad because she grown and didn't even have her own bedroom living in her mama's house. It's her mama, auntie, and her brother. But she here sleeping on this dirty couch. But I ain't judging. Come on, you can hang out with me. Now, when people seen us hanging out together or found out or heard about it. Many of the guys around me, they like to tell jokes. So it was times when I go by their house, I would have somebody with me, and they seen the house, they seen the family. So they talking bad about me for messing with her. But they joking, okay? But they ain't just cracking jokes about her. They cracking jokes about the whole family and their house. They even was talking about how that was the Addams family. Now, for you older people, you remember the show that used to come on back in the day, the Addams family. Well, that's what they was calling them, you know? And it was like the talk. Everybody joked about it. And the thing about me is, once again, no matter what they saying, I'm not holding anything against her or looking at her or looking down on her. I even had other people that I knew found out we messing around, and they come to me and be like, hey, man, what the hell you doing messing with her? Even had women come up to me. You messing with her? Man, what's wrong with you? You can have anybody you want. Why is you messing with her? I didn't let nothing nobody said about her make me look down on her or treat her in a different way. Now, months later, after meeting her, maybe a while, it was probably longer than some months, because I'm in and out of town. As many times I didn't see her for weeks or months at a time. So one day she heard about I was in town, and she called me, asked me to come by and see her. I said, hey, I'm busy. I'm going to be tied up for a while, so whenever I get a minute, I'll stop by there. So she said, can you just stop by and give me a ride to the grocery store? Because we ain't got no food. Now, my thoughts on this when she said it is that she just saying this to get me to come by there because she ain't seen me in a while. And we've seen times where women will do that. They ain't seen you for a while, and they'll tell you a story just to get you to come over there. Because I'm thinking like this. You got 4 grown people living in the house, and 3 of them got income. I know she ain't got no job, so she ain't got no income. But it's no way possible they ain't got no food. Now, I've been in situations where I didn't have no food, but this was after my mother passed away. And at 15, me going back to my mother's old house with my son and his mother, we went through a rough time because I had my guardian at the time, who was my sister, stealing my check. So I had to learn to survive on what little money I did get from her. And at 16, I learned how to grocery shop. And we ain't had no food problems as a teenager no more. So ain't no way all these grown people in this household with income and they ain't got no food. So I go by there a few days later. And I'm talking to her, she mad. I'm like, what you mad for? I mean, I'm here. She said, yeah. I told you we didn't have no food, and you come by here 3 days later. And that's when it dawned on me that they really did not have no food. Now, I didn't look down on her because of this, nor did I go run around here, telling people, man, these people over here, man, they sorry, man. How the hell all these grown people in the household and they ain't got no food? No. I ain't even think nothing else about it. I gave her a ride to the store. She got them a few bags of groceries. I dropped her back off. Ain't never thought about it again. Now, about a year later, I know I'm on my way to prison. I'm hiding out. I've been hiding out for about 6-7 months. Now, in between that time that me and her had met and was hanging out, she gets pregnant. So now, my daughter is born. She called me and let me know. So I'm going to go down here to see my child. But also, I need to see what's going on out in the street. So I go down there, see the baby, seeing what's going on in the city. And I realized that everything that I was thinking that had me hiding out was 100% true. I know these people is coming to get me at any day. So my thoughts on it is, I can't go back home. Reason why is because I don't want the police coming there, kicking in the door where my children stand. And then they end up coming and take the house that I got for them. So all I got to do is stay away from there, and they ain't got them problems. And it ended up working out when I did end up getting indicted, going to prison. They never got their door kicked in, and they was not at risk of losing their house. Now, I'm hiding out in Ohio now. She know I'm there. We interacting with each other. We talking. I'm going by to see my child. One day she says she wants to cook dinner for me. Okay. So I never forget it. She made spaghetti and garlic bread. It was god awful. Man, I ain't never tasted nothing so bad. But I didn't let her know. I just didn't eat as much as I normally do. So, once again, she said she wanted to cook me dinner. This time, she was cooking steak. But this time, I'm standing here watching. She got a pot or a skillet with water in it. And she putting the steak in there. And I'm asking her, what are you doing? She said, I'm about to cook the steak. I said, that ain't how you cook no steak. She said, well, this how everybody I know cook a steak. I said, no. See, I've been cooking steak since I was about 12. And that ain't how you do it. Let me show you something. I said, you need some marinade. Italian dressing works great. Get you some Italian dressing, marinate it, season it up real good, cut up some bell peppers and onions and top it, put it in the pan and slide that thing in the oven. She ate that steak. She said it was the best steak she ever had in life. From then on, anytime she wanted to cook something, I'm showing her, whether it was breakfast, lunch, or dinner. When the holiday come around, we was talking about getting together, making the holiday dinner. She said she didn't like turkey because it's so dry. I say, I've been cooking Thanksgiving dinner since I was 15. I don't even know what a dry turkey is. Every turkey I ever cooked is juicy. So I showed her how to clean the turkey up. Get you a turkey bag. Marinate them and season them up real good and butter them up. Put them in this bag. And every time it's coming out juicy. From that day forward, everybody that ever eats her cooking, they go crazy about how good she can cook. But where she learned it from? Now, because we hanging out, we talking about moving in together. So at this point, she ain't even never had her own house. Mind you, I've been on my own since I was 15. Now, I had her go out, fill out some applications. Now, in the meantime, we need a car because I left mine with my children and their mother. And she been driving around in this raggedy Mustang. And I remember times when we first met, we would be getting ready to go somewhere. She would be talking about ride with her. I ain't even getting in that thing, you know. And so we talking about buying a car. I'm telling her we can go to the dealership and buy us a car, or to the car lot. She said, well, last time, you know, the last car she had went to a car lot, buy here, pay here, and got this little car, and it broke down on her. And she still had to make the payments on it. I said, first and foremost, you don't want to buy a car from a buy here, pay here lot. Because for one, they overcharging you. And you could take the same money and go to a dealership that got a used car lot where they sell their trade-ins at. And you can get you something nice. So we go up to the dealership. They got the car lot out, the used car lot out there. Nice cars. We roll up out of there with something nice. And it was a 5-speed. And of course, she didn't know how to drive no 5-speed. So I took the time and taught her. Didn't take long at all. But now, first time in her life, she got a nice car to drive. Now she get approved for the apartment. The day we supposed to move in, we go out, get a U-Haul truck. Drive around all day, shopping for the apartment. New living room, new bedroom, all new stuff for the bathroom, kitchen. We shopped all the way till all the stores closed. We bought everything that you need for an apartment, down to the kitchen tiles and spoons and forks, even the pictures on the wall. We even stopped at Kroger, 12 o'clock at night. Bought enough food to fill up the refrigerator and freezer. When we pull up to the apartment that night, we had everything when we moved in. She stayed up all night because she's so excited, organizing and decorating everything. She had invited her family over the next day or the day after to come by and see a new place. They come in looking around, you know, and when they leave, she come to me and be like, yeah, they hate me. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because she talking about it's nice, but where the money come from that he paid for this with? Now she say, I don't care what she talking about. This is the first time in life I ever had a nice place to live. Now, it didn't stop there. Because understand, all this time that I've known her, she never really had a stable income. She had a few jobs or a couple of jobs. She would get a couple of paychecks and quit. So now she got a job and she ended up working a couple of months. And again, she quit. So I'm talking to her about, you know, why you quit your job? What's going on? She didn't like it, this and that. They doing this and that, all these excuses. But I'm like, look, here's the thing. You got to get you a steady income, okay? Because if they come get me tomorrow, you faced with car payment, insurance, bills. You got to live. So now she go out, get a job at the hospital. First time in life having a stable job. So look at this. Her first time in life going out to a nice restaurant. Her first time in life knowing how to cook and eat good food at home. Her first time in life ever having a nice car to drive. Her first time in life ever having a nice house to live in. Her whole life upgraded just from being around me. Now you think about that and keep it in mind as we go on in this mini-series